Hi folks, welcome back to another episode of Investment Income for Life. Lendlease Global Commercial REIT ACA LREIT recent rights issuance exercise to raise funds to purchase the remaining 30% stake of PLQ Mall seems to be on the verge of a disaster, as the recent closing price is 0.555 Singapore dollars per unit as at the closing of the 6th of March 2026. This is just below the rights issuance price of 0.558 Singapore dollars per unit. It would be prudent to only commence purchase just 1 or 2 days before the closing date of the 18th of March 2026. So what happens if price remain below 0.558 Singapore dollars per unit during the commencement of the rights issuance on the 10th of March 2026? Now this is a very good question. If the price of LREIT continue to decline below the right issuance pricing, then no sane retail or institutional investors will subscribe for it. Instead, to avoid dilution, most investors will just buy from the open market. Nonetheless, the good news is that the joint underwriters trio of DBS, UOB and OCBC will step in to mop up the unsubscribed units at 0.558 Singapore dollars per unit. The process works like this according to the underwriting agreement dated the 25th of February 2026. The process works as follows. 1. Sponsor commitment. The sponsor, Lendlease Corporation, has provided an irrevocable undertaking to subscribe to its full provisional allotment of units. 2. Underwriter obligation. For all other units, the underwritten units, the joint underwriters, DBS, OCBC, and UOB, must first procure third-party subscribers. 3. Backstop. If they cannot find enough subscribers, the underwriters themselves must subscribe and pay for all remaining units at the issue price of 0.558 Singapore dollars. 4. Funding assurance. This structure ensures the REIT raises the full 196.6 million Singapore dollars required for the PLQ Mall acquisition and debt reduction, regardless of retail or institutional investor demand. Last but not least, my parting thoughts with regard to this rights issuance. LREIT seems to have become another victim of Donald Trump's war on Iran. For retail investors, such a turn of event for LREIT is ominous. The joint underwriters will eventually need to dispose part of or all of their accumulated units, which will lead to further downward selling pressure on its market price. I will only decide on the 17th of March 2026, just before the final deadline to assess whether the market price will decline further from the rights issuance ceiling price of 0.558 Singapore dollars per unit. That's all for today, folks. Have a great week ahead.